Doctor Strange predicted 14,605 different outcomes for the Infinity War. What's one of the dumbest / weirdest outcomes he saw? Star-Lord does a dance battle against Thanos and Thanos wins. Star-Lord gets the gauntlet but Thanos challenges him to a dance-off and wins. Star-Lord snaps for Thanos. Star-Lord, I have to respect the dance-off. It's what Kevin Bacon would want. I love this idea too. Star-Lord get the gauntlet. Thanos throws his weapon at him. Star-Lord dodges and throws a sticky mine at Thanos, pinning him into the ground. With the glove in hand, he shouts, "Dance off." Obviously half the population is killed, but only one sex survives. Anal. 3 billion women doing anal on each other. I mean sperm banks are a thing, so theoretically, humans would be fine. There's also frozen eggs. Although, I haven't thought this through. Arnie managed it, I guess. I don't know, but it involves Daredevil fighting Thanos in a hallway. Still a great scene I like to watch when I think about it. Damn it. Now I'm sad that the Defenders were not in the final battle. Marvel was originally planning on doing that, but they realized it would be overkill. The Avengers exposes homophobic tweets from 2008. Thanos is now cancelled. Turns out Thanos dressed up as a clan member at a Halloween party in the 80s and his minions demanded he step down. Thanos accidentally replaces the Avengers with the Justice League. Bonus points if he brings Shazam killing asshat regime Superman. Injustice was the best and worst comic series for me. As a Superman fan, it hurt seeing him turn into the ultimate baddie, but dang if it wasn't an enjoyable read throughout. There's 2 outcomes where they won, but in one of them Doctor Strange has to die, so he tries to shift it to another outcome. In his movie, the Ancient One says that you cannot see past your death. If there was one timeline where he did die, he wouldn't have any clue if they won or not because he couldn't see the end. He has to be alive in the timeline where they won because he was the one using the time stone. They win, but he trips and breaks his neck in the last second. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Korg somehow gets the stones, and when he clicks his fingers, instead of wiping out half of all life find a pamphlet in their pocket telling them about the revolution. One person is dusted, however, a specific Fortnite player and his mom's boyfriend, who he hates. Same person. Whoa, that theory blew my mind. Thanos gets arrested by the NYPD, then escapes via the Thanos copter. Oops, I'll let go of the cube. Drat. Deadpool. Over here. It's me, Thanos. Thanos snaps his fingers and half of all living beings disappears. The left half. Nah, but then Theod'll be alright. Got him you. Your username is both terrifying and arousing. Good job. Thanos finally tries to snap and then realizes that he doesn't know how to do so properly. Can you even snap your fingers with a metal gauntlet? It would be more like grinding the metal fingers together. Reality can be whatever I want. Reality is often disappointing. The Infinity Stones, instead of killing half of the population to disperse the resources, creates 1.5 times the resources. Thanos knew this but wanted the superheroes there to celebrate and help spread it safely. Doctor Strange felt this was anticlimactic. What a great solution this would have been. Like, why didn't he just do this to begin with? Because according to Malthusian principles it wouldn't have solved anything. If anything, it would make things worse because population growth is exponential, and adding a fixed amount of resources, even if x3 or x5, is still just adding a fixed constant. All you are doing is pushing out the curve and stalling the problem. Thanos kills Ant-Man in the snap. The end. That was likely like 50% of the outcomes he saw. Endgame spoilers, plus all of the universes in which any of the 3 people waiting at the other end of the quantum tunnel survived to pull Ant-Man out and keep him from realizing the QR could be used for time travel. Really, the chances of all 3 of them being killed and not Scott combines to be relatively low by itself, possibly ruling out a significant portion of possible futures. Plus the rat. The Avengers challenged Thanos to karaoke but lose after a dazzling rendition of Don't Stop Believing. Bill and Ted turn up and challenges Thanos to a game of hide and seek. Death steals the gauntlet whilst Thanos is hiding in a cupboard. Thanos realizes has been fooled but gives up after falling in love with Death. The one where they get the gauntlet off Thanos and there's just another one underneath. The one where Spidey managed to get the gauntlet off and yeeted it into orbit. It didn't do anything, just delayed Thanos for a few minutes, and everyone got to watch Tony berate Peter for 10 minutes before the snap. The one where Thanos can't handle the catch of Vormir and instead he takes Gamora to McDonald's. She throws a tantrum when they tell her the ice cream machine is down and Thanos takes her back to Vormir. I love this one. I'm just imagining Peter crying and Tony yelling at him. Just like Spider-Man Homecoming. Thanos snaps his fingers to kill half of all life but accidentally kills himself too. Wow, I haven't thought about the Avengers disrupting Thanos so much he accidentally kills everyone. He was actually very surprised he was alive too. When he did the snap, totally expected himself to be dead. I believe the directors commented on this fact. He's the last Titan, right? There's some theories that he does get snapped up and that's why he ends up in the Soul Stone, where all the souls go. It's a theory I read, so don't ask me how he gets out. Death is a woman in the comics and the theory is that she was the younger Mora because their dialogue was a bit peculiar. He actually did end up snapping himself, but Lady Death brought him back. Now this theory may be kind of ruined if Thor's sister was this MCU universe's Lady Death and not just her agent of death. I thought Hela was the goddess of death, like Thor is the god of thunder but is not the physical embodiment of thunder. Hela is the goddess of death but is not the same as Lady Death herself. Big Wheel shows up and fucks up everyone, except Hawkeye surprisingly. Big Wheel keeps on turning. Oh, the Proud Mary keeps on burning. Thanos watches Shrek and decides Earth is worth saving. Thanos, why should I save Earth? Shrek, good question. You see, Earth is like an onion. Captain America runs to stop Thanos but trips and hits himself in the head and dies. Don't run with shields. Thanos snaps his fingers. Half of humanity dies. ISIS claims the incident, but half of ISIS will disappear as well. The US claims it. Howard the Duck saving the day. Thanos, you should have gone for the head. From off camera. Howard the Duck, good thing I never miss. Howard the Duck, let me ask you something. Since when did you think you were the one wearing the Infinity Gauntlet? Thor aimed for the head. Yeah, wait, I wonder what ended up going wrong with this outcome. Or they just get the glove off instead of Starboy getting pussy. Maybe it was something Doctor Strange couldn't control. Well, considering Strange and company were stuck on Titan when Thanos used the Space Stone to go back to Earth and get the Mind Stone. Doctor Strange did have no weight, so suggest Thor cuts off his head. Thanos attempts to snap and realizes he has a giant metal glove and can't snap, so he takes it off and then gives up. But hey, that's just a theory. Thanos is thwarted last minute by a random mother taking off her flip-flop and demanding Thanos hand over the gauntlet. You mean the Infinity Chancellor? Did you do it? What did it cost? Todo. ITT people forget that the Avengers lost in those 14 million outcomes. I like to think that they could have beaten Thanos in some outcomes, but the consequences were ultimately worse. Like Tony Stark turns evil and figures out how to wield the Infinity Stones himself and basically becomes Thanos 2.0. Thanos trips over his own feet, falls, and smashes the Infinity Stones to dust while everyone stands around laughing and pointing. Thanos then cries himself to sleep that night and never forgets that embarrassing moment. The Avengers bring Ben Shapiro to Thanos. Shapiro and Thanos argue for hours about the consequences of the snap, but Thanos destroys him with facts and logic. Thanos encounters Shapiro, and after 3 minutes decides it would be more merciful to just end 100% of all life. Ant-Man going up Thanos' butt or penis. That Squirrel Girl finally showing up. I'd like to think he saw both. Both orifices were attempted with varying results. Squirrel Girl isn't going to show up in the MCU because nothing would ever be able to threaten her. Kilgrave somehow shows up to fuck with everyone. Could Kilgrave control Thanos? What about after he gets the stones? Kilgrave's power can be overpowered by someone with sufficient willpower. Doctor Doom has done it before. Thanos likely also falls in that category. Rocket and Mantis making violent, passionate love as they disintegrated. Rocket dies in this outcome as well. Thanos snapping his fingers and realize every Avenger survived the snap. Thanos gets extreme gasset at the most opportune moment, farts with the force of 1,000,000 atomic bombs, and the Avengers obliterated by the force of Thanos breaking wind. Deadpool shows up, explains to Thanos that has just a comic book character created for people's amusement. Sad Thanos leaves Gauntlet to DP and goes to Canada to become a lumberjack. Half of universe sings to Wham! Wake me up before you go go. The other half dances in choreography to it. This was beautiful. I understood that reference. Thanos reads a self-help book and starts a psychotherapy to solve his ambitions problems. He realizes that restoring balance in the universe is not his personal responsibility and that he is responsible for the life of no one, only his own. He decides to resume his life by following the advice of a life coach, actually Tony Stark's. He invests in safe stock market investments and retires. Thanos realizes that the stones of the infinite have never been his main concern but that he just wanted to snap his fingers because it's his biggest dream in life. He becomes a popular jazz singer who snaps his fingers at the rhythm of the song. This is a gold sponge gar. It only appears once every 1 million sponge gar appearances. Like the video within 5 seconds for good luck. On top, food chain, won't stop, new game, hot box that blue haze, 1 lock, 2 chains, no bras, 2 babes, mic drop, new stage, lights in my rear view, 5 cops, food race, faster than a Tesla, they say I'm exhausted.